A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant geopolitical move, Ukraine has decided to halt the flow of Russian gas through its territory to Europe, a decision that has already triggered a state of emergency in Moldova and threats of retaliation from Slovakia. This decision comes as the 5-year agreement allowing Russian gas to transit through Ukraine is set to expire in the new year, with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky unwilling to extend it due to ongoing hostilities following Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. Despite Europe's ongoing efforts to reduce its reliance on Russian gas, many Eastern European countries still depend on Moscow for their energy needs, creating a substantial income stream for the Kremlin. According to Phuc Vinh Nguyen, head of the Jacques Delors Institute's Energy Center, nearly a third of the Russian gas sold to Europe is transported through Ukrainian territory. The remainder is moved via a pipeline under the Black Sea to countries such as Bulgaria, Serbia, and Hungary, or through shipments of liquefied natural gas, LNG. However, recent data from the Ukrainian gas operator OGTSU indicates that deliveries via Ukraine's only entry point for Russian gas will cease entirely by January 1, 2025. The ramifications of this decision are particularly acute in Moldova, a nation that shares a border with Ukraine and is grappling with Russian-backed separatists. Anticipating the cut, Moldova had already declared a 60-day state of emergency earlier this month. Compounding the crisis, Gazprom, Russia's state-controlled gas company, announced it would halt gas deliveries to Moldova due to a debt dispute, prompting accusations of oppressive tactics from Moldova's prime minister. In the capital city of Chisinau, residents are bracing for the worst, with many expressing fear and uncertainty about the future. "It's terrible. Nobody knows what's going to happen. I've bought some candles and a generator," said 21-year-old student Christina. Gazprom had already reduced its gas supplies to Moldova since the invasion began, with the Russian company primarily supplying the unrecognized breakaway state of Transnistria. This region's power station accounts for 2/3 of the electricity consumed in Moldova. President Maia Sandu of Moldova has accused the Kremlin of energy blackmail, aimed at influencing the upcoming 2025 parliamentary elections and undermining Moldova's European aspirations. Sandu, who was re-elected in November amid allegations of Russian interference, has offered humanitarian aid to residents of Transnistria, but local authorities have rejected this assistance. Alexandru Flencia, a former government official specializing in conflict resolution, argues that Transnistria is merely collateral damage in Russia's destabilization strategy. Phuc Vinh Nguyen further asserts that Putin is wielding gas as a geopolitical weapon to sow discord across Europe and undermine support for Ukraine. In response to the energy crisis, Moldova's government has implemented stringent measures to conserve energy, including restrictions on lighting in public buildings and limiting the use of elevators. The government is also seeking to purchase electricity from neighboring Romania to fill the gap left by the loss of Russian gas. Despite the significant impact on Moldova, the European Union has stated that it is prepared for the cessation of gas flow through Ukraine, with a report indicating that the impact would be limited. The EU has been actively working for over a year to prepare for a scenario without Russian gas transiting through Ukraine, strengthening its gas infrastructure and exploring alternative supplies for affected countries. Following Austria's decision to terminate its long-term contract with Gazprom, Slovakia remains one of the few countries directly affected by Ukraine's decision. Slovakia's Prime Minister Robert Fico, a Kremlin ally within the EU, has expressed outrage over Ukraine's unilateral decision, claiming it is irrational and wrong, and warning of a significant financial impact during a challenging economic period. As a countermeasure, Fico has threatened to cut off electricity supplies to Ukraine, which is already grappling with the devastation of its energy infrastructure due to prolonged Russian bombardment. Meanwhile, Hungary, which maintains a favorable relationship with Russia and primarily receives its gas imports via the Black Sea pipeline, is expected to remain largely unaffected by Ukraine's decision. The geopolitical landscape in Eastern Europe is shifting rapidly, with energy dependence at the forefront of tensions between nations. As the situation unfolds, the implications for regional stability and the ongoing conflict in Ukraine remain uncertain. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.